Hello there, Applied English. At least for my Applied English learners who are tuning in remotely today. In class, I am hoping to do the first page and a half of The Man during this lesson, just because it's a bit of a longer story, and I want to be able to have more time to discuss it in our next couple of lessons as well. So what I want to do is get reading just on the exposition in a shorter video right now. As a reminder, in our next lesson, that's when we're going to go deeper into this story's meaning, as well as read a good majority of it as well. Let's read the exposition of The Man by Ray Bradbury. Opening it up in a new tab here, notice that the text is right here for you, so if you want to follow along on your own, it's there. One thing you guys should know about this story is that it's one of my favorite short stories. For me, it's got just the right level of action. It's sci-fi, but it's also not sci-fi. And it also has some really deep meanings that we'll get into as we discuss in class. It is on the longer side, so it's really the main thing that we're going to be working on over the next couple of days in class. But I want to get a start on it right now. This is The Man by Ray Bradbury. Captain Hart stood in the door of the rocket. "Why don't they come?" he said. "Who knows?" said Martin, his lieutenant. Notice the vocab connection there. You've got Captain Hart, you've got his assistant, Martin. "Do I know, Captain?" "What kind of place is this, anyway?" The captain lighted a cigar. He tossed the match out into the glittering meadow. The grass started to burn. Martin moved to stamp it out with his boot. "No," ordered Captain Hart. "Let it burn. Maybe they'll come see what's happening then, the ignorant fools." Martin shrugged and withdrew his foot from the spreading fire. Captain Hart examined his watch. "An hour ago we landed here, and does the welcoming committee rush out with a brass band to shake our hands? No, indeed. Here we ride millions of miles through space, and the fine citizens of some silly town on some unknown planet ignore us." He snorted, tapping his watch. "Well, I'll just give them 5 more minutes, and then—" "And then what?" asked Martin, ever so politely, watching the captain's jowls shake. "We'll fly over their damned city again and scare hell out of them." His voice grew quieter. "Do you think, Martin, maybe they didn't see us land?" "They saw us. They looked up as we flew over." "Then why aren't they running across the field? Are they hiding? Are they yellow?" Martin shook his head. "No. Take these binoculars, sir. See for yourself. Everybody's walking around. They're not frightened. They just don't seem to care, Captain." This is a good place to stop just for a moment and talk exposition as well. So as we dive back into our story elements, we have to remember that at the beginning of the story, the first part of plot is the exposition. We're introduced to relevant characters, relevant settings, and relevant plot points, problems, conflicts, right? Here we do have our 2 main characters. You've got Captain Hart. From the very first line, he's the very first 2 words, right? So he is our one of our major characters so far. We also have his lieutenant, Martin. These guys are going to be important all the way throughout the story. We're also given a bit of a setting, and it's not obvious just right off the bat in this story where they're at, but we do learn later on that they've landed on another planet. An hour ago we landed. We ride millions of miles through space, and the fine citizens of some silly town on some unknown planet ignore us. So we've learned a little bit about who these characters are and what they're doing. They're space explorers. They've flown millions of miles through space. They've landed on a planet, an unknown planet, one that hasn't been discovered by man yet, but it does give us a setting, right? We're probably in the future because people are traveling through space and finding new planets, and we're also on an unnamed, unknown planet. We're also given a little bit of a problem, and we see that earlier, right? Very first line that Captain Hart says is, "Why don't they come?" They've landed on a planet, and no one's come to greet them yet, which seems odd to Captain Hart and Martin. Let's keep going. I'll just start from Martin shook his head. Martin shook his head. "No. Take these binoculars, sir. See for yourself. Everybody's walking around. They're not frightened. They just don't seem to care. There's our problem." Captain Hart placed the binoculars to his tired eyes. Martin looked up and had time to observe the lines and the grooves of irritation, tiredness, nervousness there. Hart looked a million years old. He never slept, he ate little, and drove himself on. Now his mouth moved, aged and drear, but sharp, under the held binoculars. There we're given a little bit of characterization of Hart, right? This man looks very, very old because he doesn't take care of himself very well, right? He's irritated, he's tired, he's nervous frequently. He rarely sleeps, rarely eats, and it's just go 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 with him. Really, Martin, I don't know why we bother. We build rockets, we go to all the trouble of crossing space, searching for them, and this is what we get. Neglect. Look at those idiots wander about in there. Don't they realize how big this is? The first spaceflight to touch their provincial land? How many times does that happen? Are they that blasé? Another vocab connection. Blasé meaning uncaring. Do they really not care that much? Martin didn't know. 1 page out of 13. Captain Hart gave him back the binoculars wearily, in a tired manner. Another vocab connection. Why do we do it, Martin? This space travel, I mean. Always on the go, always searching. Our insides always tight. Never any rest. Maybe we're looking for peace and quiet. Certainly there's none on Earth, said Martin. No, there's not, is there? Captain Hart was thoughtful. The fire damped down. Not since Darwin, eh? Not since everything went by the board, everything we used to believe in, eh? Divine power and all that. And so you think maybe that's why we're going out to the stars, eh, Martin? Looking for our lost souls, is it? Is that it? Trying to get away from our evil planet to a good one? Perhaps, sir. Certainly we're looking for something. This does give us another hint towards the setting, right? This tells us that we're probably looking far in the future. Martin says that there's no more peace and quiet left on Earth. This is telling us that we're probably dealing with some kind of post-apocalypse, doomsday kind of scenario where people have gone out to the stars because Earth has been destroyed or run down. Captain Hart cleared his throat and tightened back into sharpness. Well, now we're looking for the mayor of that city there. Run in, tell them who we are, the first rocket expedition to Planet 43 in Star System 3. Captain Hart sends his salutations and desires to meet the mayor, on the double. Yes, sir. Martin walked slowly across the meadow. Hurry, snapped the captain. Yes, sir. Martin trotted away. Then he walked again, smiling to himself. We have this little page break here, but I think we'll finish this page and call it good on this video. The captain had smoked 2 cigars before Martin returned. Martin stopped and looked up into the door of the rocket, swaying, seemingly unable to focus his eyes or think. Well, snapped Hart, what happened? Are they coming to welcome us? No. Martin had to lean dizzily against the ship. Why not? It's not important, said Martin. Give me a cigarette, please, Captain. His fingers groped blindly at the rising pack, for he was looking at the golden city and blinking. He lighted one and smoked quietly for a long time. Say something, cried the captain. Aren't they interested in our rocket? Martin said, What? Oh, the rocket? He inspected his cigarette. No, they're not interested. Seems we came at an inopportune time. Inopportune time? And that's where I'm going to leave it right there. Another vocab connection. Inopportune. Seems like we came at the wrong time. That's going to set up the rising action of this story, right? This is our inciting moment. There's some conflict that Captain Hart and Martin are dealing with. They've landed on this planet. They think that they're the first ever to land on it. And the people on the planet do not care because they've come at an inopportune time. We'll find out why as we study this story more in our next lesson. Blessings on the rest of your day.